Okay, straight shaft whippersnipper. The difference between the straight shaft and the bent shaft is this one is supposed to be more powerful. You can get, it's called a brush cutter. You can get underneath the brush, but it's heavier. But one of the main differences is this one spins one way and the bent shaft spins the other way. So in theory, they need different heads. So we don't have the semi-automatic loading heads for the straight shafts. And I bought a load of cheap shit from China. So even though they do work, they're quite hard to get into. So first of all, for this video, we're going to do just changing the wire. So imagine we've run out of wire. So what you've got to do is actually take this head off without losing all the bits inside. Right, so what I want again is something I can use to take off, pull these things out. Get whatever you've got underneath, lift it up. It's really hard to do with your fingers. Nice and easy with a screwdriver or a weeding tool or even secateurs. Takes the head off. Make sure you don't lose the spring. Take off, well, you wouldn't have wire in here. Now you can see what happened just then. One of the eyes came off. Be careful. You don't want to lose those, you have to change the whole head. Make sure that goes in the right way. With these, there's no wrong way to put it back in. With the bent shaft, you always want to have it with the text along the bar facing up. But these ones, okay, it's almost run out of wire. Take this off. Okay, empty. Put that down. Take your wire again. 1, 2, 2.5, 3. You'll know if you've got too much, because it won't wind up. The bent shafts will get stiff and you won't be able to wind them any further. This one, probably okay, but it gets all fiddly if you've got too much on. Okay, so we want to get the halfway point. And I always put a bend in it, just because the likelihood of you getting it done the first time is unlikely, so I don't have to find that middle bit again. It's there ready for me. There's a little arrow on here which says wind cord, so it's going to wind the cord that way. So in your left hand, hold the head, find the little section there where you put your wire into, and then wind. Now you want to do this in one go. If it gets loose, then the wire you're winding will get underneath the wire you've already wound, and that's when it jams and you have to take it all apart. So if you do it in one go, it's hard to get it nice and even. I just say don't worry about it. Just keep it going until you've got about so much left. This is the hard part, because you almost need 2 pairs of hands. You've got the little catches at the bottom, that should hold it. Don't go too short, so go back to the other catcher, and there it is. That should be locked in place, but a little knock will send that off, and if you do knock it off, you start again. Take your headpiece with the 2 eyelets. Now you can see here, as I picked it up, I realised I put that eyelet in the wrong way round. Or did I put that eyelet in the wrong way round? I don't know. So what I'm going to do, I think it's that way. I don't know now. No, I think it's that way. We will find out if that works or not. So drop your Yeah, it's the other way. Oh no, that's okay. And you want to drop the head in and the eyelets. It's definitely this way because they're hard to get in. And then you take this out without getting loose, and you have to put that into there, and that is now locked into place. Same with this one. You have to get it not just in the first bit but in the behind as well, so it goes through the whole hole, and that is now ready to go. Right way round. You're still not 100% got this locked in place. Now you have to lock it into the thing. Now that you're gonna have to let go of that, but let's get it so that the eyelets go into the eyelets and the holders go into the holders. Let go, and then with difficulty push the first one over so it's locked into place. The second one, not only is that going to be in the way, but these bits tend to get in the way. And it's easier with a tool to push that in like that. That worked quite easily, probably because it's not brand new. When they're brand new, these bits get caught and it's a bit fiddly. You might lose it. If you lose the tension, start again. As soon as you lose that tension, and then you pull it tight, it's going to overlap each other and it will jam while you're using it. So make sure that you never lose the tension up to this point, and you will be good to the end of the wire. Now let's just test that. So on. You see these things leak all the time because the O-rings have gone. Keep them, that's why we always keep these machines this way up when they're stored. Choke is on, switch is on, couple of pulls, 2 or 3, turn the choke off. What did I forget to do?
Put the
Pump
choke,
it.
pump it.
Pump it, pump it. You've got no fuel in there, it's not going to work. And make sure you pump that 10, I like 12, I don't know why. 12 times, choke on, open, whatever. Turn that off straight away, because otherwise if you leave the choke open it will flood, it will stop. Too much, it'll get wet in there and then you'll have to leave it for half an hour before you can start it again. Give a little tweak if you need to with the old little finger. You can see that is too long. 2 things you can do. That's number 1, because that little metal thing there takes care of it, or you could just snip it. Snip. The end.